Today's project, we're going to be installing a dryer vent tubing through a wall. Basically what we're going to do is drill a 4-inch hole through a wall to connect a metal tubing from the outside to the inside to facilitate the dryer. Basically our problem for our situation is that our dryer ventilation system tubing goes straight up the wall, about 30 feet across the attic, and straight up into the outer part of the roof. Because of the distance, the dryer is having a very difficult time drying clothes. The dryer overheats, probably causing a lot of blockage in the tubing. So, to alleviate that, we are going to make the distance as short as possible. So as you can see right now, our ventilation tubing goes right there. What we're going to do is just basically move it over a little bit and go straight from the inside straight to the outside wall, instead of going up the wall and across the attic about 30 feet. And for the outside, basically what we're going to do, unfortunately we have to do it right by the front door because it's a straight shot from the inside wall to the outside. We're going to put a 4-inch hole through this vinyl siding wall and put our outside vent, allowing the dryer ventilation system to dry effectively and efficiently as best as possible. So another reason why we're doing this a do-it-yourself project is because we contacted a local construction company, actually a local HVAC company. They came out, they provided us a quote of over $250 just about to do this project. So I decided to do it myself. Went over to Home Depot, made a couple of purchases. First of all, we're going to start with the outside vent louver system. The tubing that we're going to use to go through the wall, 4 inches. To facilitate that hole, the holes in the walls, I had to spend a little bit of money to buy a 4-inch hole drill and the 4-inch arbor to go with the drill bit. And of course, for convenience purposes, we're using a 4-inch dryer slim fit hookup telescoping tubing. And to make all the connections, we're going to use this foil tape for vents. Total project should cost no more than about $40 to $50, give or take. Okay, to make things simple, what I'm doing is I'm transcribing the distance from the corner to the brick to the inside area where the area I need to work. And then right in between there, somewhere in the middle, is where we're going to make our hole. Okay, so I've got my measurements done, I've got everything set up, I'm ready to execute. I've located my studs, I've marked the distance that I need to work with. That'll give me direct access to the outside. And like I said, I've measured, got my studs, and there's my center mark. That's where I'm going to start with. What I'm going to do is drill a little pilot hole, and then I'm going to stick a wire in there to make sure that I do have the appropriate clearance for a 4-inch hole. So, okay, as you can see, I've got my pilot hole drilled. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this rod. It's I've got about a 2.5-inch distance here. I'm going to insert it, and then I'm going to go around to make sure that there's no piping or anything else like that that may hamper our project. Okay, so now I've realized that there's a lot of insulation in there, but I've got my test rod in there and I'm circling it around and around and around, and I'm not hitting anything. So what I'll probably do now is try to extend that rod out to about 3 inches. So it'll give me a 6-inch diameter to make sure I'm free and clear of anything. Okay, now that I've verified that I don't have anything that's going to interfere with the hole, I'm going to go ahead and proceed with cutting the 4-inch diameter hole into the inside wall board. Okay, now I've got the drill bit set up. I'm ready to drill my 4-inch hole, but to alleviate some of the debris, I'm going to turn on the vacuum system here. So bear with the sound. Okay, as you can see, I've got the 4-inch hole drill bit, or the 4-inch hole drilled, but just inside is a plastic liner. This is the weatherproof lining that's protecting the outside from the inside, and then obviously insulation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear this out, and then I'm going to go and clear the insulation out. Okay, now that I've got my hole drilled, the plastic inside insulation barrier removed, I got the insulation cleared out so I can actually access all the way through the outside wall. What I'm going to do now is put another simple pilot hole through the outside wall so I can line up the 4-inch hole cutter on the outside to get an accurate direct access to the outside. Alright, so I've got my pilot hole drilled through from the inside to the outside, and I think we're pretty good. If you see right there, there's my pilot hole. Okay, so it's not exactly centered in between the house and the brick, but that's okay. We'll put it there and it'll be out of sight, out of mind. Okay, so now what I need to do is go back in, get my 4-inch drill hole drill bit, and cut through the outside vinyl siding and the wallboard. Take 2. Okay, now that I've got my outside pilot hole drilled, now I need to cut through the vinyl siding and through the wallboard from the outside. Okay, sorry about that. The drilling through this outside vinyl siding and the outside wallboard was a little tougher than what I anticipated, so that's why I didn't record it. But I got through as cleanly as I possibly could. Unfortunately, because of the vinyl siding being a little cool, I kind of cracked it a little bit. But hopefully we'll be able to rectify that, and it'll be covered up, or eventually it's on the bottom section of the vinyl siding, so I may be able to just get a scrap piece and replace that at a later time. But for right now, it looks like my hole is well, the hole is actually through and through to the inside. You can see the tiles inside, and it appears to be somewhat lined up as best as I possibly could. Anyhow, now comes the installation part of the venting tube and the vent on the outside, and then connection. Okay, so we've got it all mocked up. We got the outside vent installed. We got the tube in. Nothing is actually solidly connected, but that's pretty much what it's going to look like right there. I don't think it looks too bad. Some minor issues with the cracking of the vinyl siding, but we'll see what we can do with that. So bottom line, that's what it's going to look like. I'll probably obviously put some screws in there to make it stay in correctly, and then maybe do a little caulking around the edges to make sure everything stays sealed up nice and tight, and then the cleanup job. So anyhow, now we're gonna go work on the inside portion. Okay, like I said, I've got the piping all the way through. The outside vent is connected, and now what I need to do is just measure so we can connect our telescoping 4-inch vent system, and then cut. Okay, what I've done thus far is I've installed the tube through the wall, and I've actually cut the excess off from the inside. So that's pretty much what you have, about 1 inch, give or take, sticking from the wall, because the extending telescopic ventilation tube going from the dryer to the wall, or to this port here, will actually be inserted inside. So that'll give it a little bit better look as far as being close to the wall, as close as possible, without the big gouty 4-inch tube. And then also what I did is I removed the excess from the existing tube, and hopefully I'll be able to close that up, seal it up some way, shape, or form. So anyhow, I think we're about done, just about. All I have to do now is connect the telescoping tube to the vent and to the dryer and give it a test run. Alright, boys and girls, well, unfortunately that's the exposure that the ventilation system is going to have with respect to where the washing machine and dryer actually sit. For now it is what it is, but we may be able to adjust over later on. But what I've done is I've actually connected the telescoping ventilation system to the back of the dryer and to the wall. And because of the gapping that is when you connect these two, I had to use some 3M foil tape. And what I've also did is sealed up the gap with respect to the telescoping ventilation tube, and as well as right on where the vent system connects to the dryer. So anyhow, we've already done a test run. It works like a champ. There's zero leakage into the room here, so I think our project is a success. We'll see. Hopefully it'll keep the energy costs down with drying clothes, and won't do any stress to the dryer. Thanks for watching.